Good evening, everyone. Welcome to BISP Solutions. This is Farha Alam, and in this session, we are going to take a look on another feature of the OTBI analysis, which is column selector and view selector. So the column selector is a feature that allows the user to select at runtime which column will be visible or which ones to hide and the order in which the user want to display their columns. And these all these selections basically will be available at the runtime of the analysis. So this is about the column selector, and next we have a view selector. So what does this view selector basically do? So and in the beginning of this tutorial series of analysis editor, I have told you that this analysis editor provide us so many advanced features. So in this we have so many different views available, like we have tabular views, we have pivot table views, and under graphical views we have so many different graphs available over here, like we have a bar graph, we have pie chart, bubble chart, line chart, area chart. So many different views are available over here. So depending on the requirement which the user want to keep for their OTBI analysis, we can select any one of them. Like if the user want to keep the tabular view, we can select the tabular view, and if someone wants to keep the some graphical views in their analysis, so then they can go for that one also. So in order to implement uh, these features in our OTBI analysis, let's move on to the instance and see how do we implement these feature in our analysis. And for that, this is the one which we are going to create. Like here we have the column selector, and here we have view selector. So here these are the columns available over here. So if we want to select this one, payment terms name, so we can select this one. So here the data will going to display depending on the selection of the column which we have made over here. So here basically in the column selector and view selector, the circumstances will get changed depending on the selection of the user which the user made. So this is the view selector. If we want to see the tabular view, so we have to click on the table, and if we want to display the pie chart, then we have to select that one. So this is basically the pie chart, and if we want to represent our data in bubble chart, so we can do that one also. So this is basically the bubble chart, and this is about the column selector and view selector. Let's go ahead and see how do we implement this one. So here I am in the BI catalog window. So what we have to do, we have to create the analysis. So for that we have to click on this create option, and under create we have to click on the analysis one. So here the subject area window has opened. Select any subject area which you want to create your analysis. As I am using the payable subject area, as I am using this one from the beginning of this series. So here we have the payables, invoices, transaction, real time subject area. Select this one. And here it has opened now. So what we have to do, we have to select the columns for this analysis. So expand this invoice detail folder, and here we have another folder which is general information folder. Expand this one and search for the column like invoice type name. Here it is, invoice type name. And next I want to include the invoice amount in the analysis, and just want to keep it as simple. So click on the result tab to get the preview of this analysis. And we here we are able to see the result for this one. Now we have what we have to do, we have to include the column selector in this analysis. So what we have to do, we have to click on this new view icon, click on this one, and in the last we have in other views we have these options like column selector. So I'm going to select this one as we are implementing the column selector over here. So here it is, drag this one and move it up over here, and after moving it up, click on this edit view option. So here we'll be able to include the column views in our analysis. So as the invoice type has been included in this one, so if we want to include any other column for this column selector, we can do that also. So I am including some other columns also as invoice type name. And now I am going to include the payment terms name, and I want to include the supplier name or party name. Then I want to include one more column in the column selector, which is invoice source name. So these are the columns which I have included for the column selector. After selecting all the desired columns for the column selector, click on this. And here one more thing I want to under label, I want to provide the text over here so that it will be easy for us to understand that here we are going to, here we have to select the column. So select column, we have to provide the label over here, and after providing all these things we have to click on this done option. So here we will be able to see the label, which is this one, select a column. And here we have all the columns available over here. After doing all these things, we have to save this analysis. Save this one as column selector analysis, and click on OK, so that this analysis has been saved by this name, column selector analysis. And search for this one, go to the catalog option, and here we have this one, column selector analysis. Open this one, and here it is, select column like by default invoice type name is selected over here. So this time I'm going to select payment terms name. So here you can see the selection we have made over here. So the circumstances will get changed depending on the selection we have made over here. Like this time I'm going to select this supplier or party name. So we'll be able to see the changes here. And next I'm going to select invoice source name. So this is about the invoice source name, and this is about the column selector. Next we have view selector. So view selector enable us to implement multiple views in the analysis. So in order to implement views in the analysis, we have to click on this new view option, and we have to go to other views option. And here after the column selector we have this option available over here, which is view selector. So we have to click on this one. And so before we enable this view selector, firstly we have to include some more views in this particular analysis. So as a tabular view is already here, so I am going to implement one bar graph in it. And which one I'm going to include? Going to include this one, which is a recommended subtype. So, and in order to edit this one, I have to click on this edit graph option. Move it over here. And here we can apply some views for the graph. Like I want to select this one, and I am going to select the 3D option. After applying all these things, click on done option. And I want to include another view, like this time I'm going to include the pie chart. Just drag it and drop it over here. Okay, and edit this one. Click on done. And if we want to include some other views, we can again edit this one. And here I'm going to select some and for this I'm going to so here I have included one another view, which is mm, the graphical view, and more specifically a pie chart. After implementing this one, click on done. And next I want to include one another view. Just drag it and drop it over here. And again I am going to include another graphical view, which is the bubble chart. This time I'm going to include. So edit this one, and here it is saying that insufficient number of measure for this graph, so we have to include some other measures so that we'll be able to what measure, another measure, like I want to include the supplier name or party name in it. Search for this one. Where is the supplier name? Here it is. So that we'll be able. Okay. Supplier or party name. Okay. So after applying all these things, click on done. And here we have the view selector option. Click on this one, and here we have to include the view. Firstly, I would like to provide the caption over here, like previously I have provide the caption select column. This time I'm going to provide the caption select view, and I have to include the views. So here we have table view, and we have one bar graph. Next we have pie chart, and third we have the bubble chart. So whatever I want to move this graph up so that we'll be able to see the graph first. Here it is. And what we next we have to do, we have to remove all these views from the analysis so that we'll be able to switch between these views, right? Okay. After applying all these things, click on done and save this one and go back to the catalog option, and this time I'm going to rename this one as we have a column selector and column and view selector analysis, as we have implemented both the views, both selection, column selector and view selector. So and open this one. Here we have column views. So click on payment terms name so that the circumstances will get changed based on the selection for the column. And from view, I'm going to select this pie chart over here. So here we have this one, and if I'm going to select this one, then the circumstances will get changed. And invoice source name, if I click on bar graph, then we have this one. And if I go and select the bubble chart, then we have this one. So in this In this session, we have seen the column selector and the view selector, and also we have seen the graphical representation also. And under graph we have seen the bar graph, which is the recommended subtype. And next we have seen the pie chart, and we have also seen the how do we apply the effect in that one. Like we have 3D, 2D, and we have some different representation, like we have diamond representation, rectangular representation, cylindrical representations in the graphical representation. And we have seen the bubble chart also. And we have more other views, like we have area chart, line chart, scatter chart. So whatever graphical representation you want to keep for your analysis, you can implement that also in the similar way. You can use that also. So this is about the column selection and the view selection, and also about the graphical representation in the OTBI analysis. And this is all about our today's session. If you have any question regarding this, please reach out to us at www.bisptrainings.com. Thank you everyone for watching.